What's up, everybody? Okay, I gotta own up for something. I gotta own up. I said there was gonna be a new episode Monday and Tuesday, and there wasn't. And even this one's late because it's late in the day because I was doing stuff all day, and I still have some laundry to go do after this. So I'm gonna try and get this one quickly, but also stretch it out a little bit longer. I said I was gonna do a 30-minute, but I ended up getting some food. I told some friends I was gonna do a 30-minute, but I ended up getting some food, and honestly don't know if I have 30 minutes of things to say. We'll see if I do. I'll just try and, I guess, go as long as I can. But I want to talk about, like, surrender. Specifically in the idea of, like, surrendering to I guess, the good and bad of things. So I'll give the understanding of why I'm going at this. Easter Sunday happened, and I was extremely moved in the spirit, loving God, loving everything. Monday came around the next day, and I immediately fell into some struggles with lust, just some really, really, specifically sexual lust, and fell hard. And the next day, all of Tuesday, I just beat myself up. Like, you had this great encounter with God, and you just gave it all away. And I thought about, like, what does it mean to build yourself all the way up and then just fall? Like, what does that mean? And I'm thinking about, like, humility. The reason I want to think about, like, surrender, because I'm surrendering to this lustful ambition instead of surrendering to God in that moment. I'm still learning about how I feel about and then I try to fix it all by myself, and I don't just surrender to the fact that I'm human and that I need God to stay away from those things. You are what you set your eyes to, and if I set my eyes to my lust, I'm going to chase that lust. If I set my eyes to God, I'll be a godly man, and I think that's an evident thing, and as a human, I fall short. That's not an excuse. It's not me saying, oh, it's okay, as long as I come back to God. No, dude, I messed up, and I have been beating myself up about it. But that doesn't mean beating yourself up, and I've said this in a few of the past ones, beating myself up doesn't mean I now become too afraid to even go to God. Because then it just keeps the cycle going. The farther you are away from God, even I don't know if, I'm still trying to figure out the Reformed view on this. I don't know enough about it, but I know the Catholic view is like, there's, such thing as like mortal sin, that when you're in that, you're away from God. And I remember I talked to a Catholic the other day, and he was telling me, one of the Protestants was talking to him, was like, with two or one together in the name of God, isn't that a church? And I was going to tell the Protestant, hey, he probably doesn't believe that, because Catholics believe you're not in part of the Catholic Church, you're not a real Christian. But the Catholic actually gave such a different, more authentic, honest response, where instead of criticizing and saying, no, this is pure Catholic doctrine, he said, actually, I don't even think right now I'm in God because I've committed a mortal sin, and when I commit mortal sins, it's easier for me to justify other mortal sins. Whether you believe in the concept of mortal sins or not, I just thought that was, like, real. When you feel, whether you believe, like, because I don't even know if I necessarily believe in mortal sins. I know I believe in the idea that you can sin, but I don't know if I can step out of God's grace if God is going to have still hold on to me and be redemptive. I believe in the elect, so I believe who God has elected, he will always have his hand on. But I do think that if you have this framework of mortal sins, and even I do, even though I'm not, don't know where I stand on that, I believe that there's moments where I feel so far from God that it's like, oh, well, I'm far, so I might as well just keep going. What's up? Huh? I did. A sandwich. No, dude. Sorry, my sister came in. She doesn't know I do this. So maybe I'll go help. She was asking what I just ate. I just ate a sandwich. That's why I don't know if it's going to be long. If I had 30 minutes and I spent 20 of it making myself a sandwich. Maybe I'll go help her make one, because I think that's important to me. She came home today and didn't say anything to me, and that kind of hurt, because I want to have a good relationship with my family, with my sister and stuff like that. So it's like, if I get the opportunity to go do something, I might go do it. And I know I could just pause this and finish it later and go spend that time with her, but I want to get this done, because if I keep pushing it off, it might just not get done. Anyways, so yeah, surrender. I have a friend going through a breakup right now, and she can't stop talking about him. She's an IFSP, so I know they're just really reactionary, but you can't, like, I get it, it's going to hurt. but she doesn't see how dependent she is. And when you call her out on it, she just dodges. It's like, no, it's not really that. I just want him for this, 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 and this. I'm like, bro, you're so blinded to the fact that you don't have enough self-love and understanding that you're dependent on someone else to make these things for you. And you don't want to call it codependency because you want to perceive in yourself that you've worked past it when in reality you haven't. Because if you had, you really would accomplish your goal. And that's not me criticizing her, because I'm doing it and using it as a sense of self-reflection. The same way that I fell short on Monday, I'm over here looking at myself and beating myself up, but it's like, bro. No. You just took your eye off the goal. Get back to the goal. Get back. Life is I always heard this phrase that life is like a marathon or a race running to where God's calling you to be. And it's like, bro, I walked off the marathon and went to a burger shop, but I still got my marathon number on me. Get back in the race. And even saying that aloud right now is really weird, because I don't know how deep I believe that. I know it, but I don't know if I emotionally believe, I guess. It's hard to put it into words, because it's like I feel like I do, but I don't know. Or I know I do, I just don't feel like I do. I still feel unworthy. I feel like I'm not, dude. Maybe that's what surrendering is. Surrendering is just dude. Oh, this would be cool, because I'm going to pair it with the power of now. So maybe surrender is just the acceptance. I can't do this all on myself. I need God. Humbly understanding that I'm a human, humbly understanding and being present with that idea, and that I'm divinely created, and not necessarily that I'm divine in the sense that I'm like God, but divine in the sense is like I'm a person God breathed life into through the power of the Holy Spirit, but that is by His hand, and I will need His guidance through these things. Maybe that's what acceptance is. Huh. Never really thought of it like that. Huh. I wanted to share some thoughts of what I said at church, though, on Sunday. And I wrote a little bit yesterday, which is also happy. I'm happy I'm writing, and I also wrote some lyrics, too. It's from March 31st. Yeah, oh, dude, this is super cool. So they sang a song at church called All Hail King Jesus. And as everyone is shouting together, All Hail King Jesus, I'm feeling almost militant. Like I'm realizing the mission, which is makes it so much more ironic that I failed the next day. So like I told my buddy, even the greatest warriors get wounds. Sorry, I'm like going through all these things here. Yeah, things I know, but I just was moved during the service to write them down. The heart of the gospel is God's love for humanity. God's love is a giving love. He had said this phrase, I don't know who really coined it, but he said he paid a debt he didn't owe because we owed a debt we couldn't pay. Even as I'm reading this, I'm trying actually not to cry, because like I messed up the day after I wrote all this. I had all this in front of me, and I'm like, dude, what else I got in here? The gospel isn't old news. It's a story taking place in present time. It's a consistently active breaking news. That's beautiful. Oh, I don't know how I talked about this. The beauty of apologetics. Dude, I have a friend. He's commented on a few of these videos, or maybe just one. But he's heard me like debate and use debate knowledge. And I'm actually starting to see the beauty in the knowledge I've gained. Maybe not the aspect of debating, but like the beauty in this knowledge. I was having a conversation with the Hebrew Israelite the other day, and I was talking about how I don't think God, like when the Bible says God hates, I don't think it's actual, like I think it's an anthropomorphic understanding of God. I don't think God actually hates anything. I think God hates sin, but not because he actually hates sin, because I don't think God is capable of hate. I think sin is evil, and in and of itself it's opposed to God's nature, so therefore there's a problem there. But what I mean by that, this is the cool part, this is like the really, really cool part about like apologetics, is like when I say God is love, I don't think that God can love or that God just knows love. I mean, God is. He purely exists as a nature of love. And that's something I learned through apologetics and debating and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, those spaces may have a curse in themselves, but like the knowledge that I've gained from it, I've learned to sit with this new beauty of. I'm like, dude, like God is love. When I say God is logic, or logical and reason, like it's not that like God is as formatic, like TETI, like type thing. I just mean in this idea of like Aquinas talks about this thing called the natural knowledge of God, where it's like an individual can just look at the world around them and come to understand God. I'm like, yes, through logic and reasoning, not just through the senses. The senses are logical and reasonable in some ways, but through them we can come to know the beauty of God. And I'm like, that's cool. Maybe not the fullness extent of it, because Aquinas even says you need to know the gospel and stuff like that. But I have friends who I think know things about how cool the idea of an infinite loving being, unconditional being, is super. It is, and when you sit with it presently, it's awesome. But I can't talk about that without talking about the failure, because that's the good news. The good news is that there's a God who looked at you so much that he thought you were deserving of love. The bad news is that I messed up Tuesday, or messed up Monday, and that mess up is stemming from the bad news, that we were all a corrupt people. And that's not me trying to push it off like I'm not responsible. I'm responsible and accountable for my own corruption, because I would have done the same thing Adam and Eve would have done, and I made that choice the second I decided to fall into the lust I fell into, which I'm not ready to talk about. Maybe one day I'll actually bring it up on here. But yeah. Anyhow. Yeah. That's the bad news, I guess. But that's like the cool part, is that the bad news is paired with the good. There's a verse in the Bible. I think I mentioned this the last time I recorded an episode, and these will now be daily again. That's not me just saying it to say it. I'm going to be real. Also, I don't know if you guys are subscribed and saw the community tab. I put a video there from a guy named Sig, who I've met a few times. I don't even know if he remembers me, but please check out Sig. Check out all my friends. Check out Stoner Chill, Stoner CHUL, and definitely check out Sig, because I like Sig's content. And I don't know if my buddy Creek still has his channel, but he makes beats, so check out Creek. But I think I read this verse last time I talked to you guys, and I'll probably finish with this, because I probably read this verse like every day, and I need to get back into daily reading my Bible. I'm so behind on my Bible reading. I think I had to catch the plan up, and now I'm 5 days behind from catching the plan up. So, which is fine. That means I'll probably finish my Bible in a year. I think in April next year, which is actually okay by me. It gives me I'll still finish it by January 27th. So I'll finish it by the month of January. That'll make me happy. That means I just have to read one more chapter today. But the verse I wanted to leave everybody with. Sorry. Kind of rambling and talking, but I'm glad I got this out, dude. Like, genuinely, sometimes I do just need to ramble. I think people do. We wait for someone to sit and listen, and I'm like, bro, doing this is actually easier, because if none of y'all listen, at least I got it out, bro. Oh, it feels so much better and freeing. I think that's the point of like the Catholic, or even like just the historical Christian understanding of confession. Not that I think my homie's gonna be forgiving my sins, but just confessing them is like dope. Thought I heard someone knock. Adriana, did you knock? Oh, thought I heard it. I don't know. But I'll leave you guys off with this. It says, all right, verse 17. Romans 5, verse 17 and 18. For if because of one man's trespass, death reigned through that one man, much more. Oh, I messed up. I'm sorry. For if because of one man's trespass, death reigned through that one man, much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and the free gift of righteousness reign in the life through the one man, Jesus Christ. Therefore, as one trespass led to condemnation for all men, so one act of righteousness leads to justification for all men. For as by one man's disobedience that many were made sinners, so by one man's obedience the many will be made righteous. That's beautiful, dude. Through sacrifice. I think we can learn a lot from that, Christian or not. I think you can learn a lot from the idea of Jesus' sacrificial idea and how it brings peace to so many people. Sorry, I'm like drinking water and talking and stuff. But yeah, like that's cool. That's like, I don't know. I think it's cool. So pray for me, please, and thank you. Maybe I will share one more thing. I wrote some lyrics today. I said, how I engage with your peace, yet I still fall short. Rough waters, even when I'm still so close to the shore. Then I walk away, 'cause I ain't worthy of his name. Keep forgetting that's the point of grace. That's what I'll leave you guys with. Thank you guys for listening. God bless.